everybody, welcome back to another video, and it's Eclectric Reviews time. Yes, another album review. You know, the thing that nobody cares about, it's that one, because I love to give out reviews. And this, of course, is Muse, Simulation Theory, and in sort of homage to the front cover, I've got my sunglasses on. It's a very nice 80s sheeny cover because they've gone 80s. They've drenched the record in synths and 80s style synths and 80s style sci-fi and 80s style cheese. But before we get on to that, just to let you know where I'm from with Muse. Am I just coming up this cold? No. My first Muse album was basically when they came out. Into the Zeitgeist. Following a Kerrang review, I went, ooh, let's listen to Showbiz. Wasn't impressed by Showbiz, too Radioheady for me, so I left them alone for a little while, then realised a few years later that they'd become amazing. Origin Symmetry was a very, very good album. Absolution, absolutely stunning album. Black Holes and Revelations, what a revelation, amazing. Then they went a little off the boil. All those albums were basically, you know, had a flow through of sound to them. They all sounded, they came from the same place, as it were. They weren't going like, hey, we'll do this kind of music, then this kind of music, then this kind of music. But something in Matt Bellamy clicked, and he went, you know what, we've got to do loads and loads of stuff. So the next album, The Resistance, was a hodgepodge of different ideas. They sounded like Queen in one song and sci-fi type music in another song, and then, you know, trip-hop type stuff in another song or wherever. And The Second Law continued that theme to an even greater extent and was the most fragmented sounding of their albums. And it was like, if they carry on down this line, I'll stop listening to them, or at least not stop listening, stop purchasing their stuff, because it was starting not to appeal to me as much. It was a 60% cracking album and 40% not for me. But then Drones came out, and that is a stunningly heavy rock record. They went back a little bit to more Absolution style heaviness, although less progressive heaviness, and that was a really decent album. I really love that one a lot. It's not my favourite, but it is one of their best. And so it was like, you know, thing about Muse is they change album to album. You don't know what they're going to give you. They don't know what you're going to bring to the table. It's always going to be interesting. It's always going to be something worth looking at. So, always doing something different. Always making you, this album is no exception to that. They've gone, like I say, down the 80s route. They've gone like, we like the 80s. The 80s were interesting. We grew up in the 80s. So, let's bring it back. And so, well, some people have gone like, I've seen some reviews already, and some people have gone like, well, they jump all over the place. They've gone back to like the Second Law or the Resistance style thing, when they bipped and bobbed all over the place. In one sense, that's true. In another sense, it's not, because they've laid it all in 80s synths. So there is a flow through of sound throughout the whole album. The whole album is cohesive in that sense. Yes, they drop around again to different styles, but like I say, the synths and sci-fi synths and 80s synth sounds, and try and say that with as a tongue twister, all throughout the album. So one thing, like I say, wasn't a great thing for me was the fact they jumped around from style to style on The Resistance and The Second Law, two very decent albums, but let down by that for me. And while Drones, Absolution, etc., they followed through with a cohesive sound. On Simulation Theory, as far as I'm concerned, there is a cohesive sound. So that's a plus, in a sense. However, this is not their best album. For me, close your ears if you really love Muse, I think this is their poorest album yet. They've produced one or two albums, there you go, yeah. But this album is my least favourite of all the Muse albums. That includes Showbiz, which I was, like I say, not too excited about when it first came out, but it sounds a bit better than Simulation Theory. Dare I say it? Yes, I dare. Now, if you haven't already jumped ship or just waiting to find more reasons to go, yeah, at me, I'll carry on. To the songs themselves. Now, once again, I've seen a few other people's reviews of this, and it's really weird because I've come to the same conclusions as they have, but for different song reasons. Weird, isn't it? How everybody's opinions diverge and change all over the place. But the things about this is, I like more sci-fi epic type Muse. One thing to say about this album is, it's very shallow. Most Muse albums have a lot of depth to them, a lot of progression to them, a lot of interest to them. They feel fully fleshed out. They feel fully immersive. This album feels very surface. Most of the songs are like there and they're gone. And you don't feel like you miss them at all once they're gone. You don't feel like there's any moments of, magic in the air. They've definitely gone for the shallow end of the 80s. That's not to say, of course, like I say, there aren't any good songs on this album. There are good songs on this album. But I don't know how long they'll stand up to repeated listenings. It kicks off with Algorithm. Algorithm is a great stonking sci-fi style song. It's very pompous, very spacey, it's very musy. And it's a nice, decent start to the album. The one thing about this album is there are no mentions of Queen in it, really. It doesn't feel like Queen anywhere, and they have alluded to Queen-style music in the past. I don't really notice it much. The only thing that's noticeable, really, is their willingness to experiment. Queen were always willing to experiment. They've got albums, they've got disco albums, you know, and other type of albums that people go like, ugh, to, and other people love. Just like this one, I'll have the same sort of thing. So, you know, it's not like I'm expecting people to rush out and go, no, we can't take this. There'll be plenty of Muse fans that will love this, and plenty of new fans that will love this, and maybe discover their old stuff and love that too. But there'll be plenty of present fans who'll be like, no. Some will be like, oh, you've ruined it all, and some will be like, oh, I'll wait for another 3 years, see what you do then. And that's basically where I'm coming from. But like I say, it kicks off really well. Algorithm is a great piece of electro-pop, as it were. It's got great melody line to it, and you know, it's sci-fi Muse. And then The Dark Side, which was the first one of the promo vids they released only a few months ago. In fact, they've actually released all the songs on video of some sort or another, which you can check out on YouTube or wherever. So you don't even have to buy the album if you don't want to, and if you want to enjoy visuals at the same time as listening to them, every song is on there. But Algorithm, like I say, it's a great start. Then kicks off into The Dark Side. The Dark Side I've already heard. I have a reaction to it. I really liked it. Basically, even more so because the 3 songs that were previously released as promos didn't excite me as much. And The Dark Side did. Dark Side made me go, there's hope. There's hope in this album. It's going to give me something more than I expect. So The Dark Side came along. Then the final promo that dropped before the album was released, which was Pressure. It's like a marching band style sort of song. It's a great pick-me-up. It's a fun song. If you watch the video, they take the mickey out of Back to the Future and Critters. It's like a Back to the Future Critters crossover. And the video is fantastic. If you watch the music with the video, it's even better. Sometimes videos take away from a song. This one adds to the song really well. And Pressure is great fun. It's great fun. But like I say, all 3 songs, while being great, lack the depth of previous albums. But still, it's a great start to the album for me. I'm going like, yeah, this is going to be good. And then Propaganda hits. I dislike Propaganda intensely. It's not new to me to dislike a Muse song. I have hated Muse songs in the past. One of the ones I truly vilify, is Undisclosed Desire. And this has similar sort of beats to Undisclosed Desire. Horrific to my ears. I know some people out there love it. I love this type of sound from them. I just can't get on with it. It was like, no, throw that away. Down with the Propaganda. And then Break It To Me hits. Break It To Me is okay. There's moments of some wonderful flourishes within Propaganda, and some wonderful moments of guitar play, etc. Again, like I say, all these are seeped in synths and stuff. But Break It To Me is okay. It's okay. Is it better than the first 3 tracks? No, I don't think it is, but it does okay for me. Then we go into Something Human, which was the balladic song that they released as the 3rd promo, which was okay. Again, that word, okay. Nothing special to write home about. Very, very nice video if you've watched it, but nothing else really to it. It's just there. Again, very shallow. The first time I heard it, liked it. Second time I heard it, liked it. Third time I heard it, was getting a bit bored with it. So it hasn't really got staying power. That's the problem with a lot of the songs on this album. I don't feel they have staying power. They might hit you like, if you like this kind of music at first, they might hit you like a whoa, and then as you listen to it a bit more, like I've done over this last week, most of them will just be like, they won't. It's hard to put into words the disappointment I feel for this album. It truly has let me down personally, as somebody who loves listening to Muse. But like I say, other people will love this intensely probably. I just hope this isn't their future. I just hope they move on. They have moved on in the past. After Something Human, we get the 2nd promo, which is Thought Contagion. Thought Contagion, decent song. When I first saw it on their video they had, very cheesy 80s stuff. They had Michael Jackson style things going on, you know, Thriller style piss take going on in it, and I didn't really like it very much. I think the video took it away from me. I didn't listen to it again after that until I came to the review, and without the video, it's alright. It's a good, decent, solid song. Again, it's 80s cheese with synths going through it, etc. It's just fun. It's another fun one, a bit like Pressure. Doesn't add much, but it's a great, fun song. Then we have Get Up and Fight, so I got up and went. Get Up and Fight, it's nothing really to it, it's meh, no. And then we have Blockades, it's like, yeah! I'll do that again, yeah! Blockades, it's not as bad as Propaganda. Nothing is as bad as Propaganda, but Blockades is just, ish, don't like that at all. We go on to Dig Down then. That was the first promo. I disliked Dig Down from the moment I heard it. I've seen other reviews, they like Dig Down, and they dislike things like Algorithm and stuff, and it's like, we're all so different, but we've all come to the same conclusion, that it's not their best album. It finally finishes off with The Void. The Void is basically like Algorithm, but with less beats to it. Definitely another spacey song. I've seen a lot of people dislike The Void. I rather like The Void. That's where it comes from. We've all got different likes and dislikes, alright, and it's really strange that, I mean, I've seen about 3 or 4 reviews, and I seem to be in competition with the songs I like and dislike with them, because they all seem to like and dislike different ones to me. So I don't know where they're coming from, but I know where I'm coming from. I like the sci-fi, spacey stuff side of Muse, the more poppy, trip-hop, dubstep, strange Muse I don't tend to like very much, and I don't tend to like much about this album. If you get the Super Deluxe, there's a Deluxe version and a Super Deluxe version. The Deluxe version has a couple of about 3 or 4 versions, remixes, whatever on it. The Super Deluxe version has several, which I'm going to look at right now. I've listened to them all, just remembering which ones they are. There's a couple of remix type ones, like Algorithm, The Dark Side, been remixed. They do a marching band version of Pressure. It's got a marching band sort of in the background in the video, and it sort of is a perfect sort of song for that. So far, none of those songs, none of those remixes and versions add anything to any of the songs. There's an acoustic version of Propaganda, which doesn't make any difference to the sound of it at all. It still sounds horrible. Something Human has an acoustic version. It's pleasant. There's a gospel version of Dig Down. I already loathe and detest the gospel version of Dig Down. The normal version of Dig Down, so it does nothing for me either. And then Break It To Me. Break It To Me, as I say, it's an okay song. It's an okay song. It's given a remix by somebody called Sam de Jong. And it takes that okay song, strips away all the okayness of it, and leaves the bare bones of terrible. It's a terrible remix. Horrible. If I sound unhappy, it's because I am unhappy. I really wanted to like this album. I like Muse a lot. I've seen them live a couple of times. They do some great live stuff. Some of these songs will be in their set. Maybe a lot of their songs will be in their set. They'll probably sound a hell of a lot bloody better live. They have to be, because this album is very, very shallow. It's very much their pop album, maybe. Their most pop album. It's a very pop album, and like I say, it's an 80s sci-fi, electronica, synth-laden attempt to show the world that they can do anything they want. The thing is, most of the songs still have links to the past. You can hear melody lines, breakdowns, etc. from previous Muse songs throughout this. So that makes it feel a little stale again. It's still Muse, and there are always going to be that sort of level of borrowing from their past to, help the present. But for me, this album is too shallow. The songs are too shallow. Not enough time has been spent to make these great powerhouses of sound. It's a fun album in parts, but it doesn't last very long in the fun sector of it. Eventually you just it'll go on your shelf, and you'll just get other Muse albums out and listen to great songs from that. In the end, the more you listen to this, the more you just go like, bored. So, that being said, what sort of mark would I give this Muse album? Unfortunately, I would have to say, still Muse? That's a plus. There's about 5 songs on here I like. I don't love, but I like, so that's a plus. I would say I would give it a 5 out of 10. That's all I can give it. It's average. It's an average album. It's a disappointment overall, but it is what it is. The next album could be the most amazing album in history. I look forward to hearing it anyway. And with that, I'll say goodbye. Hope you enjoyed the video, whether you disagreed with it or not. I hope you enjoyed my moments with this. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to suggest more stuff to react to, or if you want me to review something. I'm always open to reviewing things as well. Can't say I like them. I'm always going to be honest. Hope you enjoyed this. See you for another one soon. Bye.